Well, hi, Cheers, I'm back with 60 Books in Isolation, and this is actually the first book I actually got out from the library with a click and collect service. It's called Lucy Diamond, An Almost Perfect Holiday. This is like her latest book. I've always liked Lucy Diamond as an author. This book came out now. This book came out now. This is a brand new review. I gave her a brand new book, which is actually quite nice. An Almost Perfect Holiday. Well, hey, I should be on a holiday right now, by the way. I should actually be on my holiday right now. I'm not. I'm in my bedroom in West London doing book reviews. Yay. Okay, so here we are. Blurb. Getting away from it is just a beginning. Down in Cornwall, the sun is shining and Lorna's 3 holiday cottages are fully booked. Em's in the first one with her blended family. Fingers crossed they're still together by the end of the fortnight. Mag is next door with her bolty teenage daughter, hoping some sea air and sunshine will reunite them. And then Olivia arrives and needs a sanctuary, only to be confronted with memories from the past, as secrets that have been buried for too long. Right, so you can imagine Cade in Cornwall, this kind of little cosy kind of nest of cottages with a swimming pool in the middle, and then these like 3 families kind of coming together. And the thing is, though, is this is a very, very sad, in a way, story about, love and loss and new love kind of thing. Okay, now this is M's situation because a lot of this book is focusing on M and her issue with George, her new beau, if you will, and her daughter Seren. Now Seren is obviously she's not liking Daddy's new girlfriend, and she's actually for saying well, she's actually a bit of a cow. Okay, this bit here. Okay. As for George's daughter Seren, she was 7 years old, and Em wasn't quite sure what to make of her. Prior to their meeting, she had felt not super confident, exactly, but I'll say groundedly, she knew kids, she was good with kids, everyone said so. Hello, lovely to meet you. It was a very cool trainers, she had said warmly the first time they'd been introduced. Sarah's expression had been downright withering in response. Not a baby, you know. You don't have to come and talk to me like that. The scornful retort had come. Anyway, my mummy says that it's patronising and sexist when people talk about my clothes. Would you say that if I was a boy? Em had blinked for enough guard by this irate young feminist. I might have done. She replied weakly, to which Seven had merely snorted. Yeah, and Seven actually calls Em fat because she's actually not particularly what you call her. Okay, I get the whole kind of being a splendid family, okay, with Daddy's new girlfriend, but she's absolutely a horrible person. She's very, very obnoxious. She's like, oh, my mummy makes a lot of money, and mummy wears designer clothes, and mummy's this, and I'm thinking, yeah, your mum's raising you to be an entitled little bitch, but yeah. Because Charlotte, as the mama, she's perfect, okay? And George, however, when it comes to M's situation, her daughter is in a bit of trouble with her own regarding George because by a little kind of fancy she's made up, okay, about her mum's boyfriend as well, which is all rubbish, okay, but it's actually resolved quite nicely as well. I'm going to spoil that because that's a bit of a spoiler territory, but it's resolved quite nicely, okay? It resolved very nicely. Now, another one on the list, I'm going to talk about Olivia. Now, Olivia in the last house, she's run away from her family, okay, from her husband, because this bit here, okay? Right. So, see you tomorrow, Max said, bending down to kiss her. Olivia was still in her dressing gown as the kitchen table, hair lank, and a wash on her shoulders, while the detritus of family breakfast lay around, all smeary wheat big bowls, displays a spatter of toast and crumbs, and blobs of scarlet jam quivering like bright scarlet jewels inside the butter dish. Yeah. Basically, with her 2 sons, she's going for twins, going through a rough time. My husband doesn't get it, okay? He's the fun parent. He is the fun parent. He's the one that does all the cool adventures with. He's that side of it, and he literally has neglected his wife, believing all childcare to her. And she's had enough, and she kind of gets to that point, which is actually quite sad, really, because she's at breaking point. Okay, her husband is the fun one. He plays games with the kids. He's fun daddy. He's cool daddy, and she's picking up the pieces. And in the end, she has it, so she just runs away. And she just runs away from it all. And the way that Lucy Diamond describes Sarah's woman is at the end of her tether, she loves her family, she loves her husband, she's dealing with a lot of repressed guilt as well. I was thinking her past, which relating to her ex-boyfriend who sadly passed away when he was a teenager. And she actually meets up with her ex's family, who are absolutely kind and lovely, and they actually take care of her and give her a bit of mothering, which she really, really needs. But I like the fact that, okay, this captures very different women, okay, but they're all struggling with their identities, they're struggling with their issues, and they're struggling with actually being parents because it's very difficult. It's just a book really about parenting, about parenthood, and absolutely thought it was great for that. Absolutely thought it was great for that. There you go. This is Lorna, okay, because it's her costume they're talking about, okay. Here we are then, the day had arrived, as it always did every single year. It was Monday, and therefore the anniversary of the most terrible episode in Lorna's life. And she marked 2 decades since it happened. He'd be 38 now, her Aidan, if he'd survived. 38 years old, a middle-aged man. He'd have married his teenage sweetheart, no doubt. He was the most loyal boy you could imagine. They'd have children too by now, he guessed. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So Lorna's in mourning for her son who passed away 2 days earlier. Say 2 days, 2 days, 2 decades earlier. Get the words right, Jodie. 2 decades earlier. Obviously, um, Olivia is a secret relation to that, and yeah, it's all about trying to move on and motherhood, and it's a very sad story. This book really kind of puts it in the moment as well. And Maggie's issue, okay, now Maggie is a geography teacher. She wanted to kind of have the world at her feet, is her, and however, her daughter is kind of struggling with that. Obviously, it's just been them two for so long, and this is a very difficult situation because her boyfriend, so her ex-boyfriend, her ex-partner, who basically walked away, left her and now her teenage daughter Amelia. He's got back in contact. Amelia found her through social media, and now whilst they're supposed to be in this holiday in Cornwall, Amelia wants to spend time with her biological father, who had zero partner in life until this point. I mean, in the day, she had to find him. He wasn't looking for her. He wasn't off okay to be this famous photographer, take loads of pictures and become famous, okay? But he's never given his daughter the time of day. And now this is the bit where Maggie sees, goes into what a house that she knew back in the day, which Will, or Wilf, okay, as his partner Celeste calls him, has kind of taken over. This kind of difference came in the parenting. The old carpet, for example, was now dirty and stained, strewn with assorted parts of a wooden train, where someone had idly peeled away strips of the wallpaper below the dado rail, you it dangling inside papery curls. In the kitchen there was a small dainty handprint descended one wall, laundry basket for the dirty clothes abandoned in the middle of the floor, an identified pan of some yellow-brown slop, curry casserole nappy contents, the bobbed and popped on the hob. Right. Maggie thought of how welcoming the kitchen had always been when Philippa was alive. The fragrant air was with roasted as napa crumble, and how it had been the very heart of the home. Now the room felt like a student's squad and left her anxious about food hygiene. On the subways at Amelia, she saw that listeria concerns were far from her daughter's mind, because in Amelia's eye, this is her glamorous dad, her glamorous bohemian dad, who with his two other kids, her half siblings, who she's never even met, okay, called Rainbow and Thistle, okay, Rainbow and Thistle, and yeah, sorry, not Rain, yeah, Rain and Thistle's 5, and Rain, she's 3, okay, and it's like one big kind of parody, okay, the bourgeoisie bohemians, if you will, but so basically, I think for the first time in Maggie's life, she's actually by herself. She actually gets to work on herself and what she wants out of life. She actually has to be away from her child to kind of get out of who she is. It's sort of about female identity in this book, which I thought was really kind of refreshing. Women over a certain age, about how society treats them, how they see themselves, and some bits are really heartbreaking. Okay, it's heartbreaking, and this book though, complaint wise, it's quite a long book. It's 471 pages long. It could have lost about 100 pages. At times, Kate, because they're there with their kids and their blended families and the things going on, and the past with Olivia and Lorna, and it felt very cluttered as a book. And I just had to thinking maybe kind of streamline the families a little bit, kind of keep it a bit more contained. And it takes a long time for them to actually get to these little holiday homes in Cornwall. But as a summer read, it's very good. Lucy Diamond has a very, very strong narrative, and I've actually read a large number of her books. From Anywhere You Want Me, Something to Tell You, The House of New Beginnings, One Night in Italy. Her narrative voice has got a lot stronger over time. She's actually become, from her first book to her latest one, such a strong novelist, and I like that about Lisa Diamond. It's nice to see authors evolve their skills over time, and from her first book to her latest, she's now a lot more competent writer, and she's a very, very good writer. The only complaint I have was I like to have this book kind of steamed down a little bit. Okay, maybe lose a little bit of subplots, like one of the sons essentially get in trouble for nicking a painting, and they have to buy it from the gift shop. That kind of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything here, but I did enjoy this book. It's a nice summer read, and it's also heartbreaking in places too. It's also after a mother loses her son, can she still be called a mother? Yeah, that's a question for you. I say yes, of course. So, Lucy Diamond's An Almost Perfect Holiday, recommended read. And take care, everyone. Bye now.